Do what you got to do. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Let your family know. Just have that sit down. If you need help, get help. There's no shame in it. It doesn't make you weak. It just makes you stronger. It makes you better. Welcome back to another episode of the YeahDat podcast, hosted by yours truly, West Coast Roberto. How y'all doing out there? Well, I'm doing well. Hope you all are doing very well. I've been busy as of late, as you can probably tell, because the schedule has been thrown off. The scheduling has been thrown off. Haven't been putting out as many episodes quite as frequently as I am accustomed to, and I apologize for that. Just been real busy. Feel like time it's like I don't have enough time to do what I need to do, but it's life. It is what it is. But Naomi's back. I apologize for the delay, and I hope you all are doing very well. For those of you, the last episode was about bipolar disorder. Man, that seemed like it was a long time ago, with my special guest, Cosmic Candy, and we went over bipolar disorder, what it was. She went over, manic episodes and her artwork and hula hooping, and we kind of brought it to the forefront for those of you out there who are either battling with it, are kind of in denial of it. You don't have to be. We discussed bipolar disorder and things you can do to cope, and et cetera, et cetera. So if you're interested in that topic, if you haven't listened to it or watched it yet, check it out. Available on all podcast platforms and YouTube, but you already know that because you're here listening now, and I thank you for it. YeahDat. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to you listening now. Shout out to you listening on Apple, on Spotify, on Google Pods, on Amazon, on iHeartRadio, to watching it on YouTube. Thank you as always. Oh my goodness. So it's been a while. A lot of craziness is happening in this world. I don't know if a lot of you are up to date and keep up with current events, but there's a lot of craziness going on. I'm in the service. For those of you new to the show, thank you. I currently serve in the United States military, and last month we had 3 sailors take their lives while stationed on board a ship, which I work in close proximity to. So it's kind of crazy. I have sailors that work on board the ship that the aforementioned sailors took their lives on, which is the USS George Washington. It's crazy news hearing stuff like that. And suicide is a big deal, and it's not something that should be swept under the rug, taken lightly. You should listen to those who are, have the ideations. We have the training all the time, being in the military, to learn the signs and deal and cope. But at the same time, all that training still doesn't prepare you for the actual event that happens. It's crazy to hear, because I have younger sailors who work on board that ship, who are temporarily assigned to that ship, and we were fortunate that none of our sailors were the ones who did the act. But at the same time, it's still sad and disheartening to think of a young person doing that to themselves. I don't take the topic lightly, because my nephew, a few years ago, he was planning to join the military, join the Navy, to do actually the same job I do, same field of work, in which, dealing with bombs and missiles and stuff. But he took his own life at a gun range out in town. He was at a gun range, and he felt as if he had to do that. That's the only way out. Which, for those of you out there listening, if you ever dealt with or familiar with this topic, it weighs heavy on you. You may have had your own ideations and you may have overcome them, but there's people out there who can't deal and can't cope and feel as if they need to resort to that in order to get through things, which it's not a, how can I say this? It's not, it's just not a way out. It's not an outcome. And I've talked to my oldest daughter while she was in middle school about it. And now more so we've been talking about it lately, because not only did there were the three incidents of the sailors on board the George Washington, there has been a slew of collegiate athletes, particularly women, who are taking their own lives because of the pressures of being a student athlete, and just their mental health and stress and all that. So we really sat down, and I talked to my daughter, because she's an elite athlete, both of them, and we've talked to them and let them know, like, hey, that's not a way to cope. It's not a way out, because it may seem like just the thought of it may seem like it's a way out, but it just does more damage to friends, family, it's co-workers, everyone who knows you, loves you, or has been in your presence. It just puts a real weight on their shoulders, weight in their heart, because they lost you, and it's not a way out. Just know that there's always somebody there who can help you. That's not a way out. It should never consider that. And if you have ever, or if you feel the need to do such, there are an abundance of resources you can use out there. There's the National Suicide Hotline, which is available 24 hours, available in English and Spanish here in the United States. You can call them at any time, and the number is 800-273-8255. You can call them. You can just talk to them about whatever's going through your head in regards to that topic. There's also other resources for those in the military one source. You got people, you got family, you got friends. You can talk to anybody. You do not have to take your own life. You do not. But the sailors, the three sailors who did it on board the George Washington, felt as if that was their only way out, and it's sad. So my condolences to their families and friends. And they were young, all of them young. You had their names deserve to be said. So you had you had Mika'il Sharp, who was 23. You had Natasha Huffman, who was 22, I believe. You had 19-year-old Mitchell-Sandor. Excuse me, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to butcher their name. Xavier Sandor, who was 19. So you had Natasha Sharp, Mika'il Sharp, Natasha Huffman, and Xavier Sandor, who were the three sailors on board the George Washington who took their lives. And you do not, it's just, Can't even imagine what their family and friends are going through. But like I said, you don't have to do that. You do not have to do that. There's ways out. There's ways to cope. There's help out there, which you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-TALK, which is 800-273-8255. Or you can text the word strength to the crisis text line at 741-741, or go to suicidepreventionlifeline.org for more help. You can go to church, you can talk to anybody, you can talk to mentors, there's always better ways. And with the 3 sailors, there was also, like I said, the collegiate athletes, which that one, it scares my wife. It scares myself as well, because like I said, my daughters, they're elite athletes right now in their respective sports. And my oldest, she's at that level. She's at high school. She's already playing varsity sports as a freshman. And, she's only progressing. She's only going to progress. So it's somewhat scary, but, once again, condolences go out to the friends and family of James Madison University softball player Lauren Bernett. She was 19, or no, she was 21. Took her life. Then you also had the Wisconsin track star Sarah Schulze, who was 22. And then you had the Stanford soccer captain, Katie Meyer, who was 22. And all of this happened within a span of a couple weeks, which is pretty gnarly to think about. Especially young, just so young, still young. And then for the collegiate athletes, like they're top athletes, and it's pretty eerie because each one of those happened like right after something positive happened in regards to their sports, like being named player of the week, team captain, scoring so-and-so goals, or whatever the case may be. They had accolades, and then following the accolades, they felt as if the pressure was too much. So, you just got to think. You got to think about people first. Mental health is a big thing. It's a big deal. Nothing to be taken lightly. So please ensure that your well-being and the well-being of those around you are being taken care of. Those working for you, those working with you. Make sure people are okay. Please make sure people are okay, because suicide doesn't help anything. It just worsens things. Now we have 6 young people who had a whole life to live are now gone, and their friends and families, colleagues are in mourning. So rest in peace to these 6 aforementioned people who felt as if there was no way out. But there's the resources out there for those out there who have had the thoughts or thinking that that's the way out. So please, I'll link it in the descriptions below so that way you can see it for yourself, that there is help, there are options, there are resources. Please talk to somebody. That is not a way to go, because it does more damage than it does good. It does no good, actually. Excuse me. But I wanted to get that out, and condolences to the families and friends again. It's crazy when you think about stuff like that to happen in the young folk. It's tough being, every generation growing up, it's always tough. I know when I was growing up, they would say, you would hear the sayings, "Oh, it's tough being a kid nowadays." And then I got older. Excuse me. I got older than my younger sister, who's 4 years older than me. I was like, oh, this generation, it's tough being a kid nowadays, dealing with this and blah, blah, blah. And, now more so, I think today has to be probably one of the toughest times to be a kid because of technology and, the easy access of technology and what it is they see. So like you're on social and you have the IGs and girls are seeing these pretty girls and, oh, I need to look like that. Or they're seeing these athletes and I need to look like this and I need to do that to be like this, to be socially accepted, when in all reality, social media is not reality. So please, if you're listening to this and if you feel that way, just understand social media isn't reality. Social media is a platform where originally, when it was started and invented, was a place for people to socialize. Now it's a place where young individuals, young people feel as if that's what they need to do to be socially recognized. And it's not. People are steering away from being themselves because they feel they need to look like this. They need to act like this. They need to dress like this in order to get accepted socially, which is not correct. Incorrect. So a big thing in my household that I preach to my kids is just be yourself. Be yourself. You are great people. People love you. And they will continue to love you. Just be yourself. Don't try to be like this person. Don't try to do this or act this way to fit in. Just be yourself. And I think a lot of that has to weigh. A lot of that weighs in on mental health, and just mental health more so, nowadays is more so vital for the quality of living for our young folk now. So I know it's crazy. It's crazy. A lot of us have been there in some way, shape, or form in regards to feeling down. I've been there. I've been down at the bottom, feeling. I was at a point where I felt like man, fuck this. The ideation. I've had it. But I talked myself out of it because it's like, okay, there's more. There's people out there who need me. I can't do this because I'm going to be hurting people. It's a lot. It was easier for me to do than most people, but I'm glad I did it. Glad I did it, and glad I didn't go through with it because of the pain that would have been caused to loved ones. So once again, there's resources out there for everybody. Please make sure you check out the link below for the National Suicide Hotline. Once again, it's 800-273-8255. I will link it in the description below for those of you needing it. For those of you who feel like your friends need it or family members, please help them out. So, on the lighter note, I'm sorry to start the pod off that heavy, that serious, but it needed to be done. There's crazy things going on in this world. There was that. There's, people burning down like the food plants too. That's crazy. We just had another food processing plant owned by Purdue get burnt down mysteriously. I think it was the 13th one in the nation or 17th one in the nation. That's pretty nuts. And it's like, who's doing this? Who is doing it? I mean, we all have a feeling of who is doing it, or we all have a feeling of the type of people that are doing it. But this is crazy. There's that. There was the suicides. There's the burning down of the plants. There are shootings. It's like, what is going on right now? What is going on? Like, I know it's summertime. It's about to be, people about to be out there. People are out there now, last year, everything started to open up, but shit going on like this, man. It's instead of going out there and celebrating and enjoying traveling and each other and just having fun, people are doing dumb shit. It's crazy to me. So I've really been on my toes lately, being out and about. I haven't really been wanting to go to like big events and shit like that, because COVID's still a thing. People are still getting COVID. Not that it's not as severe as it was back then, because we have a better understanding. But people are motherfucking crazy, man. So it's kind of sketch going out. But it's just, I don't know. You see it and you hear all this stuff, and it's like, where are we going with all this? Like, what is the end goal in regards to all this shit? All this craziness happening. I just hope it kind of flip-flops as the summertime comes, and people are out and enjoying the weather and scenery and all that. So I hope there's a big decline in all this negativity that's going on, all this bad juju. I try to display and preach all this positivity, but reality is there's a lot of crazy shit going on. So just for you out there, be on your toes when you're out and about, when you're traveling, whatever you're doing, be on your toes, keep your head on a swivel, because there are folk out there who don't give a fuck. But enjoy yourself. You deserve it. Past, over the last 2 years, it's been kind of crazy. So now that things are starting to open up, summertime is coming, get out there and enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. Live your life. Do your thing. But for me, so I've been, I'm into cycling. Summertime is coming. I want to go on this cruise. I want to go on a cruise with the fam. Where my wife and I are talking about taking the girls on a cruise. So we're looking into that. But there's been a lot going on. Like, my daughters are great at their sports. My daughter just got accepted to a new club, a new soccer / football club, depending on where you're listening this from. And it's travel, so we're gonna be doing traveling, and then the fees are gonna be higher than my youngest daughter. She's doing gymnastics, and she has the state championship meet coming up within the next 2 weeks. And then I got to take care of shit in regards to, necessities, like with my truck and stuff like that. So I was like, this cruise is starting to sail away. Pun intended. Oh, man. But, that's the wrong thing. But it's starting to sail away, like I said. But I don't know. We're trying to see what, if we can't go on the cruise, then what else can we do to take the place of? I know my daughters are looking forward to the cruise thing, getting so stoked, which I really want to take them on one. But maybe we can just take a trip elsewhere, somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. But as of right now, I'm actually. So I've been researching duathlons. I'm trying to get this summer body back. I'm trying to get ready for summertime. Trying to bring sexy back. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. But so I've started my shred. It's shred season. So I started it this week, and I'm into cycling. And you know what I'm saying, because it's low impact. I got bad knees, but I've been researching duathlons, which a duathlon is. I know you those out there are probably familiar with triathlon, which that's cycling, running, and swimming. But I ain't trying to swim out there in the ocean like that. I can swim too, by the way, motherfuckers. I can swim, but I'm not trying to get out there in that ocean and swim like that. So I've been researching duathlons, which is 2 events, which is running and cycling. I like cycling. I enjoy it. great workout, low impact on the knees. Running, I can run up until last year for my yearly my physical readiness test I got to do every year in the military. I was running the 1.5 miles. And for those of you out there watching, you see me, I mean, I'm husky, you know what I mean? Those out there listening, I walk around. I'm currently walking around at 238. I'm 6 foot, and I got on the scale a couple days ago. I was like 238. I'm down 5 pounds. I was walking around 243, 245 at 6 foot. But I can run. I got people. A lot of people are surprised by how fast I am for my size and my ability to run. But I can run. End of the day, I can run. So I prefer not to because of my knee. But I can run. So I've been looking into duathlons. There hasn't been any around locally near me. Every duathlon I've looked up has been in another state or wherever. Not just none here. There's a lot of cycling events, which is cool, but no duathlons. But there's one that I found, which is through the military. There's a health day coming up within the next 2 weeks or so. Actually, it's in 10 days. There's a health day where they're having a health fair. You know, there's vendors, there's public speakers, but there's also a mini duathlon going on. And I was like, oh, how ironic. A mini duathlon. I've been searching for duathlon, so I still haven't called and registered. But I was like, I got plenty of time. This was last week. I said, I got plenty of time to train. There's a mini duathlon. Great way to introduce me into duathlons and all that. So I can ride for a good little distance. I think the most I've ridden has been 50, about half a century. I think I've done, about a half a century. When I was at my peak, this was COVID. And so I can ride 30 easy. I can ride 30 miles easy. So this mini duathlon is a 12 mile ride, and it's a 3 mile run. So I don't know how the format is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a 1.5 mile first run, a 1.5 mile run first, the cycle, and then a 1.5 mile run after, or is it going to be the 3 miles and then the 12-mile ride? So I'm kind of stoked about it. Only thing is, I haven't even started running yet or training for this. I rode my bike once last week, and excuse me, I rode my bike once last week, and I went about 8 miles, 10 miles. Felt good. The place I was riding, it was a park that I just discovered. It was cool, nice little park. I thought it was bigger than what it was, so I ended up doing laps. But I could have gone longer. But yeah, so 12 miles and then a 3 mile run. I told myself I'm going to run it within my neighborhood, but haven't done it yet. So we'll see how this goes. Still going to sign up, still going to do it. May suck, but whatever. Embrace the suck. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got coming up. I also got my daughter's state meet, like I said. And then my oldest, she's still playing varsity soccer, still soccer season. Playoffs are coming, regional playoffs, so got that going on. Still trying to get acclimated with this new move as well. As you can see, it's still nothing on the walls behind me. For those of you watching, those of you listening, I'm showing my backdrop, which is nothing except for that right there, my little fat head. But still finishing up the new house. And just living life. That's it, living life. But I promise I will get better at the pods. I started off the year well, then got busy as a mug, and have since been busy as a mug. But I already got guests lined up. It's just all scheduling thing. That's all it is. Got some interesting guests lined up that I'm looking forward to sitting down with, learning from, learning new things from. So just stick with the pod. Follow me on IG if you don't already. Follow me on Instagram at YeahDat Podcast, one word. Follow me on Twitter at westcoast_Rob, as I be posting on there too. But I'm pretty heavy on the Instagram, so follow the podcast on there. You can also follow me on I'm on TikTok too. I need to get better with the TikToks, but I'll be wanting to sit there, man, and just do that TikTok stuff. I can't do it like my daughter, so I think I might hire my daughter to do some TikToks for me. I don't know. We'll see. But I think I'm gonna wrap this podcast up right here. Thank you all for being patient. Thank you all for those out there who are loyal and stay with me. Tune in to every episode, watch every episode on YouTube, listen to every episode on the podcast. Thank you so much. I love you all so much. You have no idea. And I truly, truly appreciate you for it. But I'll update y'all on this duathlon. I don't know. I'm gonna be hurting afterwards. I just have a feeling, but we'll see. But until the next episode, I'm gonna end it here. That's it for this episode. This is episode 33. We're still moving. We'll get better with the consistency in regards to the episodes dropping. I still shoot for every week, dropping weekly episodes. So I'm gonna get better at it. Trust. I gotta fit it in my schedule, and I will do so. So stick with it. Thank you for tuning in. Please rate the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to it on, whether it's Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Audible, Overcast, whatever it is. Make sure you rate it. Drop me a comment. Just hit rate. Go down, scroll, hit rate, 5-star rating. Like it, share it, whole 9. If you want to see what the homie looks like, or if you want to see what the guests look like, make sure you turn in to YouTube and go to youtube.com/westcoastrob, and you'll see the podcast right there. When you do get on YouTube, hit subscribe. Drop some comments. Let me know what you think. And if you want me to cover any topics, or you want to know my perspective about a certain topic that's boggling your mind, or that's bothering you, slide in them DMs and Instagram on the YouTube on the podcast page at YeahDat Podcast on Instagram. So with that being said, I'm gonna end it right here. Thank you all once again for tuning in to another episode of the YeahDat Podcast. Remember, if you need help, get help. There's no shame in it. It doesn't make you weak. It just makes you stronger. It makes you better. The number to the National Suicide Hotline will be listed in the description below for those out there listening and watching. If you need help, please reach out and get that help. The number to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 800-273-TALK. That is 800-273-8255. 800-273-8255 is the number to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. If you need the help, do what you got to do. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Let your family know. Just have that sit down. Please talk to somebody, because there's nothing that severe, or there's nothing that cannot be, or too severe that you cannot get help for, where taking your life is the ultimate result. That doesn't help. It's not a result. So just think before you do it. Please reach out to someone who loves you, someone you know, or just reach out to those resources and get the help you need. All right. That being said, it's the homie West Coast Rob. Thank you all for listening. Until the next episode, YeahDat.